To start my speech, I would like to introduce my two audience members, my dad, Michael.
Hello.
And my brother, Michael, also.
Hi.
Good afternoon to both of you. Thank you for listening to my speech today. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a vegetable omelet in a few simple steps, and it'll be very fast. This recipe is for chefs and non-chefs alike, so it's a very simple way to get in your protein and your vegetables in the morning and to be out the door fast. So first, I'm going to get out the eggs and the rest of our ingredients. I use cage-free eggs and organic if I can get them. I have baby spinach, which I also like to buy organic because spinach is the vegetable with the highest amount of pesticides used on it. And then I will get out the cheese as well. With the eggs, for a typical omelet, I would probably use about 2 to 3 eggs. So you're just going to crack the eggs into the bowl. Try not to get any shell in there. And then toss the shells in the garbage. And then what you want to do next is whisk them. So say whisk them for about 30 seconds until you have like a smooth orangey consistency. Put these aside for when you need to heat the pan and wash your hands before you touch your vegetables. For this baby spinach that I use, or that I'm going to use, is actually pre-washed, so you won't have to do anything but add this directly into the pan. If it's not pre-washed, just take the time to wash it and dry it a little bit. We have a tomato. I think this is a plum tomato, and you're gonna wanna wash this just underwater for like 5 to 10 seconds. Make sure it's a little ripe so you don't have any sour vegetables in your mixture. So you're gonna wanna, I would say, use about half of this tomato, and you're gonna want to dice it. So start at the top. I'd say slice it into centimeter to 1/2 inch cubes. And dice it a little smaller just so it's not tough to chew. Just like that. And set that aside. And then with your onion, you don't have to wash an onion. I think this is a sweet onion or a yellow onion. And you're just gonna wanna use, I would say, about 1/4 to 1/3 of this, just because we're not sauteing it before, so it could be a little strong inside the omelet. And you're gonna wanna chop this into as tiny pieces as you can, because you don't want any big chunks. And then maybe spend the rest of the day with onion breath. So you're gonna want to just dice it. And to dice it, if you don't know how, you just cut it long ways and then you go around the other way in sort of a checkered pattern. So your slices are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so now that you have your veggies chopped, have your cheese out, then the next thing you're going to want to do is to grease your pan. I use a non-stick pan, and then I just use any vegetable oil that's good for coating. This is a cooking spray. And spray it over the sink just so you don't get any excess oil all over the counter. You're gonna wanna coat it like so. And then bring this over to the stove. So for the second part, now we are going to cook the ingredients. So first you want to heat your stove. I have a gas stove, so I usually put it between low and medium so that we don't overcook the eggs. So now the pan needs time to heat up. After the pan has been heated up, you're gonna tell that it's heated up by putting your hand over it. Do not touch the pan. And it should feel pretty hot. So you're gonna take your egg mixture that you mixed before, and you are gonna pour it right into the pan, like so. And you're gonna let the eggs cook for about a minute, I would say, before you add any of the ingredients in with it. Okay. So after the eggs have been cooking for about a minute, then is the time that you're going to wanna add in your vegetables. So here I have my tomato and my onion, and you're gonna wanna scatter those throughout the omelet as evenly as you can, just so each piece you get a little bit of everything. Then you're gonna wanna do the same with the spinach. I like a little more spinach, but maybe for the average person, just about a handful this big. You're just gonna sprinkle that on top. And then you're gonna let it cook with the vegetables for about another, I'd say, minute or two. The next step you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna season it. So here I just have some black peppercorn in a grinder. Put a little bit of that. And then here I have some iodized sea salt that I'm also going to add in there. I would say just a pinch, it doesn't need too much, just to season the vegetables and eggs together. So now that the vegetables are all cooked on this one side of the omelet, we're gonna flip the entire thing together. So here's what your omelet is gonna look like so far. And you're just gonna try to give it a whole flip. Some vegetables might fall out, that's okay. And then we're gonna cook it on this side for another 2 to 3 minutes. Now for the final step of making your omelet turn into an omelet, you could either choose to put the cheese on the non-vegetable side or the vegetable side. Now I personally like the cheese to be with the veggies. So I'm going to I just have some shredded cheddar here, and I'm gonna sprinkle it on one side of the omelet, and it should melt pretty well just because it's already been on the side of the pan. And then to seal the omelet, we're just gonna flip and fold the one side over. And then the cooking part is done. You can leave it on for a couple seconds if you want to just melt the cheese. But other than that, you can turn the stove off, and then we can move on to plating it. Now for the final part, you're gonna take your veggie omelet and you're gonna transfer it from the pan right onto your plate. Get any extra veggies, sprinkle those on top because some extra nutrition. Now you have your vegetable omelet. You can top it with your condiment of choice. Make sure you have a fork and a knife so it's easy to eat. Some organic ketchup here. And here is the final product of the veggie omelet. There you go. So how does it taste?
Good.
So there you go. There is an easy, simple recipe for any rushed mornings, any last minute breakfast decisions, anything that you need to do on the go. It doesn't take very long. It doesn't take many ingredients, and it's good for chefs or non-chefs of any age. Thank you guys for listening to my speech and demonstration today. I appreciate you guys being in my audience, and I hope that you guys can, learn how to do this recipe on your own. So, thanks.
Thank you.